Hello, I'm Dale Wisely. I serve now as the executive director of All in Mountain Brook. And one of the things that we work on in our nonprofit is doing what we can to try to help teenagers stay safe during the teenage years. And I'm doing a talk next week that we have a code name for it, which is Exit Strategies. I'm always trying to come up with a better title that will better describe what the talk's about. So I thought I'd take just a couple minutes to tell you about the talk, and so you can decide whether it's worth your while to come out and hear me talk. So, as a psychologist, for much of my career, I've been very interested in the sort of bad things that can happen to teenagers. Motor vehicle crashes. Now we have suicide as tied with motor vehicle crashes as a leading cause of death among teenagers. And not just death among teenagers, which happens obviously way too often, but also bad injuries, getting arrested, getting involved in substance abuse, any number of the list of things that can happen to teenagers. It has been a strong interest of mine. So over the years, I've developed this talk for parents, and really parents of kids of all ages, that kind of describes a little bit for parents why it is and how it is that teenagers often get drawn into these high risk scenarios, often with their friends, doing something that's dangerous that could result in an injury or something terrible happening. Why does that happen, and what's going on there? And then, even more important than that, the other part of this talk is to teach parents a way to communicate regularly with their child in a way that will help, I believe, will help that child avoid those dangerous situations down the line and keep them safer. And just like anything else we do as parents, it's probably one of those things that if you start early, it's better. If you're starting late and you have a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, I think the talk will be helpful to you. I hope it will. And if you have a younger child also, it just gives you kind of a head start on all this. But what's it about? It's based on what appears to be true, that one of the things that happens to teenagers is that if they're in a group situation and they're excited, they don't necessarily have the skill set to avoid getting drawn into a dangerous situation. And then if they do get drawn into a dangerous situation and start to feel uncomfortable about it, then they don't have exit strategies, ways to get out of that situation and save face, and make it a safer evening for them. So I sort of describe a way of communicating a kind of something that starts as a kind of a game as you're raising your kids, and then develops into a kind of regular conversation you have with then teenagers to help them try to stay safe and kind of advocate for themselves in these social situations. So we call the talk Exit Strategies. I think how to help keep your child from having bad things happen to them when they're teenagers. Obviously, I have a problem with titles, and that's why I wanted to take a minute to explain what the talk's about. Would love to see you come out if you can, and if you can, look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for your patience. See you soon.